So as you can see, we are finally doing the long-awaited bookshelf tour today. I'm so excited to finally share my whole entire book collection with you guys. It's been a while since I've done a bookshelf tour, and I've never shared these ones with you guys that I've had for about 3 years now. Couple of things before we get into it. These are the Billy bookshelves from IKEA. I have 5 of them, and all of them have the extenders on top. So these shelves are about 8 feet tall. I'm 5'9" for reference, so they're very tall, they're very wide. It's hard to even get a full shot of all of them because we're in my bedroom right now. My bed is over there, my shelves are over here. I'm gonna try to get some B-roll footage because it's kind of hard to show, but I do have 5 bookcases. They're 8 feet tall. I have about 1,000 books in my collection. I tried to count all of them today and it was around 1,000. So I've been collecting books since I started my channel in 2013. I used to have a tiny little pile of books and it is now amassed to this many. It's very crazy. I will say over the years, I've gotten a lot more particular about the books that I buy. You'll notice that a lot of these books that I have are probably from over 10 years ago. When I was first really doing BookTube when I was in high school, I was collecting so many books and being sent so many books, so a lot of the books on my shelves are still from that era. Now I tend to read books first, and then if I love them, I'll buy them. And you know, it's been a whole debate of like, should I wait until I have my perfect dream shelf with every book I love and do the bookshelf tour then? But it's like, I'm never gonna have a perfect scenario, so I might as well just share with you guys what I have now. So I'm excited to do so. So let's just get started. I'm gonna try to share with you guys each individual section. It's gonna be difficult, but we're gonna do our best. I'm not necessarily gonna pull out every single book because like I said, I have 1,000 books. That would take forever. So I'll share with you section by section. If there's standout things that I want you guys to see, you'll see them. So let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start up here on the upper left section of my bookshelves. These first couple of shelves are kind of my random section. You guys may know that I mostly collect romance books, so I have a few shelves for the non-romance books, and then we kind of get into those. So these are my nonfiction books as well as my poetry collection. A lot of these are from when I was in high school and in college, especially college. A lot of the ones on the left I had in class. So it's kind of a section of my shelf that I don't necessarily reach for a lot, but it's been heavily loved. Moving down to this next shelf, this is another very random assortment of books. Literally, we have like gardening books over here and then my One Direction books. Like, you really can't get more random than that. But yeah, I have a few cookbooks, a couple more nonfiction books, some autobiographies, like we have Lauren Graham. I have my book from when I met Mike the Situation. He literally signed the book Mike the Situation GTL. Like, if you know, you know. But yeah, so kind of a random assortment there as well. And then moving down, these are kind of my classic literature books as well as a few random graphic novels. I have my random Star Wars book here, like love. But yeah, this is a shelf that, again, I don't necessarily reach for these books a lot, but it's books that I've had for a while in my collection. Okay, and then moving down, we start to get into my young adult books. And now moving forward on the rest of these shelves, there isn't really a rhyme or reason to how I've organized most of them. I try to put all of the young adult books together and then all of my adult romance books together. And then mostly from there, it just goes off of if the books are like the same height. I definitely like that over putting authors together or organizing alphabetically. So you'll kind of see it's not super organized, but it's organized in a way that makes sense to me. So here's just the first batch of young adult books that I have. A lot of these are classics, like you'll see The Duff on there. That is an OG BookTube book. Moving down, we have some more YA paperback books. Again, there really isn't a rhyme or reason. You can even see, like, I didn't even put these two Susan Colasanti books next to each other, and they probably should be next to each other. It really doesn't matter that much to me. Again, as long as they're all the same height, that's really what I'm looking for. So then this next shelf is, again, some more YA paperbacks. You'll see that there's going to be some instances where they're not all the same height, and I kind of had to do my best. So it kind of goes from like tallest, there's like a little bit of a mishap here, and then some shorter ones over there. But again, these are all of my YA books that I used to read when I was in high school. I really haven't picked up a YA book in a while, but it's fun to look at all of these and reflect on the books that I used to love. Okay, and then this is the bottom of the first shelf. These are YA hardcovers. And now you'll notice moving forward, all of the books that line the bottom of my shelves are YA hardcovers. There was an era on BookTube where I was constantly getting sent books from like Penguin Random House. And so I have so many hardcovers. A lot of these I honestly haven't even read, but I just think they look so nice all next to each other. So I like to line them up all together on the bottom shelves. So you'll kind of see that as a pattern as we go through. Okay, moving back to the top of my next bookshelf. Up here we have my after books. If you're wondering why I have so many, they're all like different variations. Like this is the movie cover. One of these is like signed by the whole cast. The other one is like signed by Hero and Josephine. If you don't know, just scroll back on my channel. It'll all make a lot of sense. And then I have my Did I Mention I Love You series there, and just some other random YA books over on the left, just kind of making what fits fit. Okay, and then we come down to this shelf, which is probably my favorite. If you don't know me and you don't know my obsession with Looking for Alaska, you're probably so confused. You're like, hey, so these are all the same book. Yeah, they're not all the same, but these are my Looking for Alaska books. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 copies of Looking for Alaska. I think 13 of which I collected on my own terms, and then the other ones were sent to me by John Green. I basically made this TikTok talking about how much I love Looking for Alaska, and he was like, let me send you some. So now I have like some really cool copies of Looking for Alaska that are all signed by him. To Laura, I believe this is the only signed copy of this edition of Looking for Alaska in the world. Best wishes, John. Like, what do you mean? If you want me to do a whole video on this, I did make a TikTok, but I could definitely do a whole Looking for Alaska collection if anyone's interested in seeing all the different signatures I have. And then over here is just the rest of my John Green books. So I have kind of an array of all of his different copies and everything. I'm just a really big fan, and like he was kind of peak for me in high school. If you were in high school in like 2014, 2015, like Looking for Alaska was it. So that's kind of that shelf. I really love it. Moving down, we have some more YA books. I have my Shatter Me books, my Lux series. This is a classic BookTube series. If you know, you know. City of Bones. Guys, these are my original Twilight books from like when I read them when I was literally 11 years old. So they're so old. And then some other just hardcovers that I felt like went with this section. So that's kind of, again, like I don't really organize in a very concise way, but if it looks right together, I just put it there. I don't know. Moving down, we have some more YA books, another one of my favorite series selection, my Fangirl books, my Angie Thomas books. This is like a classic Stephanie Perkins book. And then I have my Jenny Han series there. Moving down, I have more Jenny Han, all of my copies of The Summer I Turned Pretty. This book, just, it fit there. It doesn't really go with anything else, but it's YA, so I put it there. And then we have all of my Morgan Matson books, my Lauren Oliver books, love her. And then down here we have all of my Sarah Dessen and my Casey West books. These are two YA romance authors who I was obsessed with in high school. If you're like in your teens or you know a teen, these are the classics. Like this is what they need to be reading. And then moving down again, this is the bottom of the shelf. I just have more YA hardcovers. Some of these, like Alex Approximately, one of my favorite books from when I was a teen. But again, a lot of these hardcovers still have not been read by me, so I'm really hoping to get through them in the near future. That would make me very happy. But yes, more hardcovers. Okay, we're back to the top on my third bookshelf. This is a collection of books that I kind of just figured to be adult fiction. I didn't really feel like they went full romance, but some of them do have romance. Like I know Deep Cuts, I know Writers and Lovers, like some of these do have a romance plot, so don't get me wrong, but I just felt like they all went here. Again, they're not really all the same height. That kind of bothers me. I think that's why I kind of tucked them away on the top shelf, because you can't see it as much. But a lot of these books I have not read yet, and I'm really excited to. Let me know if you have any favorites. Okay, and then moving down, here we're starting to get into my actual adult romance book collection. So we have some of my QB Tyler books over here. Absolutely love her. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. That's a classic. Oh, and Done and Dusted. I just read that whole entire series. Absolutely loved it. Can you guys tell me what you think about Things We Never Got Over? I read this book and immediately wanted to throw it against the wall, but I know people love it, so I just want to know your opinion. Just let me know. This book, oh my God, this was a classic book for me. I read it in like 2013 and now it's a movie with Chase Stokes, like so random. Okay, and then moving down, this is another shelf of just kind of like romance standalones that I didn't really have another place to put, or that I didn't really feel like went with other books. I mean, this right here is a part of a series. This is a part of a series. For some reason, I have 2 copies of 10 Tiny Breaths. I don't know why, but a lot of these are just standalone romance books that I love. Moving down to the next shelf, on the left here, we have my Gianna Darling books. I have the paperbacks and the hardcovers, and then my Penelope Douglas books, who I love. This book is also Penelope Douglas, but like, guys, look how short it is compared to the other ones. I think it's because I bought these books self-published from her website versus this one I bought, I think, at Target. So it's like actually published. So they don't match, but it's fine. It's fine. Then I have some more books over here. The Twisted series. Oh my God, this book, Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington, is literally one of my favorite books. Please read it. And then we just have some other random ones that just fit the height requirements. Fiona Cole, Nikki Sloan, Saffron Kent, Mariana Zapata. A lot of my favorite authors over here. So this is a good shelf. Okay, moving down. This might start to be a little familiar because these are the books that are mostly behind me when I'm filming. So we have my Macaulay Smeltzer books. We have my Elsie Silver, which, guys, I think I was ripped off. So these are like the special edition books that she had and they don't exist anymore of this series. And this one I couldn't find, so I bought on eBay. I think it's fake because look, it's so much shorter and like the text is too big. Like somebody definitely scammed me and I need the actual one, but problem for another day. And then I have this series here, Makes the Mountain, very beautiful. I have some of my Stephanie Archer books, who I love, my Lana Ferguson books, Peyton Corinne, and of course, Liz Tomforty. Coming down here, we have some more of my favorite authors. We have Allie Hazelwood, Christina Lauren, my Taylor Jenkins Reid books, K.A. Tucker, these books by Hannah Grace, which I love, Carly Fortune's books, Emily Henry, who I still haven't read. I want to do a whole video, honestly, reading Emily Henry because I have not read her. And then these 2 books, classics. And then again, moving down here to the bottom of the shelf, we have some more YA hardcover books. Okay, making our way back up to the top, this is the 4th bookshelf. These are fantasy books that I just didn't really know where else to put. And as you can see, like they don't even fill the full shelf because I don't have that many fantasy books. I have like the OG ACOTAR because I bought it when it first came out. Still haven't read it though. I'm really sorry. Harry Potter, I have my Fourth Wing series, which I actually do love these books. Very surprising for me, but I do love them. And then we just have some other books here. I really want to read this book by V.E. Schwab. Has anyone read this? The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Let me know. Okay, and then coming down to this shelf, this is my collection of like thrillers, I guess you could say. Again, it does not fill the entire shelf, but I have my Lucy Foley books. I have a random Stephen King book, some Frida McFadden, who's a classic. So yeah, I don't really have a ton that fill this shelf, but I would love to have more someday. And then coming down here, we're back into romance. So this shelf is actually completely Abbi Glines, who, if you are an OG watcher of mine, I used to talk about Abbi Glines so much. I was obsessed specifically with her Seabreeze series. This is her Field Party series. And then here is the Rosemary Beach series, and then the Sweet series, I think. And this is a random standalone. Honestly, she has so many series and they're all so bingeable, and to this day I love her, so this is a fun shelf for me. Okay, and then making our way down here, this shelf is all of my Colleen Hoover books. Now I know Colleen Hoover is kind of like a hot topic. People either love her or hate her, and I know she kind of went viral in 2020 with book talk becoming a thing, but if you guys don't know, like I've been reading Colleen Hoover since 2013. Like I have all of my OG copies from way back in the day. These are like all signed. I've met her so many times and I just love her books. Like they're always going to be a comfort to me, even if they're not the best books ever. Like I fear I still love them. So I have a lot of her original books. I think the covers have changed on a lot of them. Some of them I've bought new covers. Like you'll just have to kind of look for yourself. And then over on the right, I have some random books that didn't fit on the next shelf. You can see here on the left, I have my L. Kennedy collection. I have my original off-campus books. These are the ones with the boy abs. And then the original Briar U series. You can tell because I bought these on her website. Like there isn't a publisher on the bottom. They're all just hers. And then I have the actual newly published ones, even though I'm pretty sure they changed the covers again. They don't look like this anymore. So I don't know. And then I have this series. I don't have the Charlie Method because I did not like that book, but I like those two. And then my Beautiful Disaster books, some other random books, Easy. Someone told me this is becoming a movie. I had no idea, so I'll have to watch that. But
other random new adult books that I've had for a really long time. These are kind of some of my classics. Coming down here, we have more romance books, just kind of an array of stuff. I do have my Voyeur series in the middle by Fiona Cole, but the rest are kind of random. A funny one on this shelf, actually, I have this book from Rebecca Yarros, who wrote Fourth Wing. I didn't even realize, but she sent me this book literally 10 years ago. And like, it was before she was even big or anything. And now she has like the biggest series ever. So yeah, and then, oh my God, A Thousand Boy Kisses. This book literally ruined my life. I really want to read this soon. Have you guys read this? I feel like I'm all over the place, but I really want to read that book. Side note. Okay, and then moving down, some more hardcover books. Again, I've read some of these, not all of them. Eliza and Her Monsters is a standout to me. I really loved this book. So now we're here at the last shelf. You can see I have some stuffed animals. These ones are actually empty, which is honestly great for me because it means I can buy more books and I'll have room. And then here in this shelf, I have my Steve Harrington Pop Funkos, obviously really important, and then a little jar with coins. This shelf is actually both of my degrees. I just placed them face down because they have like my full name and all my information. So just avoiding anything crazy with that. But coming down here, we have some more romance books, a couple of these old series that I used to be really into. We have the Crossfire series by Sylvia Day. We have my Edge of Never books. Over here is just kind of random stuff. I have like notebooks and photo albums and all of my Taylor Swift magazines. So kind of just like a random section for me of things I didn't know where else to put. Moving down, we have more romance books. I have my 50 Shades series. I have this series by Lauren Asher. I know that's big. Lost and Found series that I love. Again, just I don't really know where to put everything. And like, to me, when they're all the same height, that's just when the books look the best from afar. Like, I don't know. If you have any recommendations of how I should be organizing, please let me know. Coming down here, again, we just have some more YA hardcover books. A classic from here is Wonder by RJ Palacio. That was like one of my favorites in high school. But yeah, that about does it.
So that's going to conclude the bookshelf tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any specific questions or anything about the shelves, about the books, please let me know in a comment down below. But otherwise, I will see you guys all very, very soon in my next video. Bye!